And we're back with another episode of Let's Play Lost Odyssey. I'm your host, the RPG Guy. And we've got our work cut out for us, don't we? Let's keep moving. Do. And I believe... Welcome. We've got some rare fruit in today. Go ahead, try one. It's the least I can do for our heroes here. And thus, a memory was unlocked from deep within his heart. Let's do it. Hey, that means there's only 9 more left after this. And that's great, because it means we're getting there. For those of you who find these boring. Bright rain. The bright rain is going to start soon, the boy says, pointing out to sea. The bright rain? Kime asks him. Uh-huh. It happens every night way out there, he says with a carefree smile. It's so pretty. Bright rain, huh? Yeah, I want you to watch it with me tonight. It's really pretty. The boy has never once left the island in the 10 years since his birth. The island is small and poor, and the only ways to make a living there are fishing from dugout boats and gathering forest fruits. One monotonous day follows another, the islanders waking at dawn and sleeping beneath the star-filled sky. The boy does not yet realize that this is the greatest happiness of all. The boy begins speaking to Kime, who turns to look in his direction. Hunkered down on the beach in the moonlight, the boy in profile glows like a chocolate sculpture. Over there, where the bright rain falls, is a great big island, right? I know all about it. That island is way bigger than this one, and way more stuff goes on there, and it's just full of shiny things, and pretty things, and food that's way better than I can even imagine, right? Don't worry, I know all about it. Kime says nothing, but gives the boy a pained smile. Beyond the horizon lies a big island indeed, a vast continent. Kime was there until 4 days ago. Then, rocked into the hold of a freighter for 3 days and nights, he crossed the sea to this island. I know about it, but I've never seen it, the boy says, his voice dropping. He hangs his head, diverting the moonlight from his gaze. His chocolate skin melts into the darkness. Would you like to go there? Kime asks. Sure I would, the boy replies without hesitation. All the kids here want to. Everybody leaves the island, I suppose. Sure they do, boys and girls both. As soon as they're old enough to work, they go to the other country. Me too, in another 5 years. I'll be ready in 3 years. Then I'll take the boat that you came here on and go to the other country and work hard and eat tons of yummy things. The boy raises his face again. Locked on the ocean, his eyes were shining. They are eyes full of hopes and dreams. But he knows nothing of the other country. He can never know a thing about it as long as he stays here. Not one of the young people who cross the sea, their eyes shining like the boys with hopes and dreams, ever came back. Of course not, the boy would say. The other country is so much more fun. There's no point in coming back. The boy believes in the happiness awaiting him in the other country, about which he knows nothing. Only when they leave the island do the brown-skinned people here learn that their skin is a different color from that of the people in the other country. That the language of the island is of no use in the other country. That the people of the other country look on the islanders with cold eyes. that the only way for them to meet people with the same brown skin, the same language, and the same birthplace is to head for the island people's ghetto in town. The first words the boy was certain to learn in the other country's language would be the ones the people of the other country used for people like him, illegal alien. By the time he learned it, he would be tumbling down a hill into the ghetto. The boy gallops away from the beach and returns a few minutes later with an overflowing armload of fruit. He says they grow here, where the wind from the ocean meets the wind from the mountains. They're at their best on nights when the moon is full. Go ahead, have a taste. He wipes a piece of fruit against his worn-out shirt and hands it to Kime. What do you call this? Kime asks. You're going to laugh if they pinned such a fancy name on it. Grain of Happiness. That's a nice name. Kime bites into a grain of happiness. It is shaped like an apple from the other country, but it is some 2 sizes smaller and just that much more packed with juicy sweetness. This is great, Kime says. You really like it, I'm glad, the boy says with a smile, but he is soon hanging his head again and sighing. I like them a lot, too, the boy says. I bet the other country has all kinds of stuff that's way better than this, right? Kime does not answer him, but takes another bite of the grain of happiness. The boy is right. There are lots of foods in the other country far more delicious than these grains of happiness. Or more precisely, there were. Now, however, the other country has been transformed into a battlefield. The war started 6 months ago. That was when the boy began seeing the bright rain every night. The prosperity of the other country is extreme. The most glittering happiness is available there to anyone with enough money, and money is available there without restriction to anyone with enough power. Might makes right. Wealth is goodness. Those who are neither mighty nor wealthy obtain right and goodness by finding others who are both weaker and poorer than themselves and ridiculing, despising, and persecuting them. The island people, whose language and skin color are different from those in the other country, are seen as the other country's shadow. This is not a shower, however, that forms because there is light. The very existence of the shadow is what makes the light all the brighter. This is the only way that the inhabitants of the other country know how to think about things. Eventually, however, strength reaches a saturation point. Wealth that has run its course begins to stagnate, and expansion is the only course left open. Desires can only be fulfilled through a continual bloating. In order for the other country to remain strong and for the wealthy to stay wealthy, the leaders of the other country made war on the neighboring country. Any minute now, the boy says, looking out to sea again with a carefree laugh. The bright rain is going to fall way out over the sea. The war was supposed to have ended quickly. Everyone in the other country believed that with the overwhelming wealth and strength, it would be easy for them to bring the neighboring country to its knees. To be sure, at first the war went according to plan. The occupied areas grew each day, and the entire populace of the other country became drunk with victory. One after another, however, the surrounding countries took the side of the neighboring country, which was only natural, for if the neighboring country fell, they themselves might be the other country's next target. The other country's entire diplomatic strategy failed, which was only natural, for no country on earth would make friends with a country that only knows how to flaunt its wealth and power. An allied force was organized around the neighboring country. Together, the surrounding countries sought to encircle and seal off the other country. From that point on, the war entered a stalemate. A limited battle zone saw troops advancing and retreating again and again, in the course of which the other country's wealth and power was consumed little by little. Disgust for war began to spread among the populace, and to obliterate that mood, the military circulated false propaganda. The military situation is developing in our favor. Our army has again crushed the enemy's troops. The truth was that the occupied territories were being recaptured one after another, and the Allied forces now were crossing the border to strike inside the other country's territory. In response to a foolhardy attack by the enemy, our resolute fighting men launched a counterattack, annihilating their forces. The day of victory song is upon us. Stopping the war was out of the question. Admitting defeat was out of the question. The people had believed that wealth and power would enable them to rule everything, but they knew the terror of having lost. But now they knew the terror of having lost both. I swear I speak English most of the time. The Allied forces were joined by a powerful supporter. A mighty empire that wielded authority over the northern part of the continent joined the battle as if to say, "Let us finish the job for you," crushing the other country once and for all. But the powerful empire was not satisfied just to destroy one upstart nation. It turned its overwhelming military might upon the Allied forces, as it had so many times in its history. It seized the opportunity of its clash with the surrounding countries in order to expand its own power. Having lost its leaders and been turned into a wasteland as far as the eye could see, the other country now became the new battlefield. Outnumbered, the Allied army hired mercenaries from another continent. Kaim was one of those. For many days he participated in a losing battle, in which there was no way to tell which side was fighting for the right. After seeing his mercenary unit wiped out, Kaim headed for the harbor. The boy's island has maintained a position of neutrality in the war. It is simply too small to do otherwise. It lacks the war-making capacity to participate in battle, and it possesses no wealth to attract the attention of the countries engaged in the fighting. But Kaim knows what will happen. When the battle lines expand, this island will become valuable as a military foothold. One side or the other will occupy the island, and it will do one of two things. It will construct a base, or it will reduce the entire island to ashes, thus preventing the enemy from using it as a military foothold. Nor is this a matter of the distant future. At the least, it will happen a few weeks from now, and perhaps as soon as 2 or 3 days. Kaim has come to the island to convey this message, to tell the people that as many of them as possible should board tomorrow morning's regular ferry to the nearby island. He wants them to start by sending away the children. He hopes never again to witness the spectacle of young lives being crushed like so many bugs. "Oh, look, there it goes," the boy cries out happily, pointing towards the horizon. "The bright rain? Far out to sea. A white glow suffuses the night sky. A powerful empire has begun its night bombing." The boy has no idea what the bright rain really is. He can watch with sparkling eyes and murmur, "It's so pretty, so pretty." To be sure, viewed from afar, the bright rain is genuinely beautiful, like a billion shooting stars crossing the sky all at once, but only when viewed from afar. Damn. A dull thud resounds from the sky, another dull thud, and another. Thunder? Ooh, no, if it rains, we can't go out fishing tomorrow, the boy says with a smile and a shrug. "You're such a friendly little fellow," thinks Kaim. The boy had seen him on the shore and spoken to him without hesitation. "Are you a traveler?" he had asked, and went on speaking to him like an old friend. Kime wants children like this to be the first aboard tomorrow's ferry. I'm going home now, says the boy. What are you going to do? Oh, I guess I'll take a nap under a tree. You can sleep in our barn. Why don't you spend the night there? Thanks, Kime says. But I want to watch the ocean a little longer. Tomorrow, though, I'd like you to show me around. I get it. You want to see the head of the village. I know a shortcut through the woods right over there. Kime is hoping to convince the village head to evacuate the island. If they act right away, they can make it. They can save a lot of the islanders. But as the boy stands sweeping the sand from the seat of his pants, he looks questioning at the sky. Funny, he says. It sounds kind of different from thunder. The dull thuds keep coming without a break. Little by little they draw closer. Kime jerks his head up and yells at the boy. The woods! Run to the woods! What? Hurry! His voice is drowned out by the deafening roar of machine guns. The bright rain has started. The island has been made a target far sooner than Kime had imagined. Hurry! Kime yells, grabbing the boy's hand. The woods are the boy's only hope. Hey, wait a minute, the boy shouts, shaking free of Kime's grip and looking up at the sky. It's the bright rain. It's falling here now, too. Wow! Wow! All but dancing for joy, the boy gallops down the beach until he is bathed from head to toe in the bright rain. A single night of bombing. Bombing is all that it takes to reduce the island to ashes. Never realizing the value of the happiness they possessed, and never even knowing that such happiness has been snatched away from them in one night's passing. The people who filled the island with their lives until evening are gone in the morning. All dead except for one, the immortal Kime. On the beach at dawn, the only sound is that of the waves. Again today, no doubt, urban warfare will decimate the city streets, and tonight the bright rain will pour down on the town again. The boy who called the rain beautiful will never again open his eyes wide with wonder. Kime lays the boy's corpse in a small dugout canoe that survived the flames. He places a ripe grain of happiness on the boy's chest and folds his arms over it, hoping that it will slake his thirst on the long road to heaven. He sets the dugout in the water and nudges it towards the open sea. Caught by the receding tide, rocked by the waves, the boat glides far out from the shore. Such a friendly little fellow. The boy smiles even in death. Perhaps it is the one gift the gods were able to bestow upon him. The boy is setting out on a journey. May it never take him to that other country, Kime begs. Or any country for that matter. Kime knows there is no place forever free of that bright rain. Because he knows this, he sheds tears for the boy. The rain falls in his heart, cold, sad, silent rain. Emptied of bombs, the sky is maddeningly blue, wide, and beautiful.
People got murdered. Oh boy, okay. So that's a thing. You give it back. What do you want? I didn't steal anything. Well, who else would have been there, huh? You want to go at it, dude? Don't you? Whoa, knock it off, guys. What's going on here? Someone stole all the sales money from my store. It was still there when the monsters attacked. This guy's been caught stealing before, and some people saw him nearby during the commotion, too. It's gotta be him. That's a load of garbage. I don't know a thing about your money. Where's your proof, huh? Do. And actually, he's talking about the shop that was run by the Crow, which in and of itself is its own thing. And what we need to do, actually, is we need to set something up here, because I didn't do it. You guys think I'm a thief too, don't you? I may want to choose not at all. Well, good, because I didn't do it. Everyone immediately assumes it was me. Sure, yeah, maybe I've stolen a few items a few times before, but hang on. Everyone knows about that. I'm not trying to hide that. I mean, I tried hiding it before, but it always failed before. My granddad was a real straightforward guy. Everyone loved him. We were poor, but he'd still help out anyone in need. Everyone here talks about how great he was, but they were all just taking advantage of him, really. Maybe he was happy with that, but I'm not. And besides, why is it gotta be me who stole? I'm not the only one around here who could have done it, you know. You're still saying you didn't do it? One of the eyewitnesses says you were near the store. I'm telling you the truth. I'm telling the truth here. How does seeing someone near the store mean I'm the thief? Man, of all the luck, this town was a mess when I returned after a long time. I walk over to the town square and this strange crow startled me to death. That's the reason I ran. The crow, you mean the one that was over in the other store? I don't know, I saw it fly out of the store carrying a heavy-looking bag in its beak. Thought maybe it was stealing food or something. So where's that crow now? Who knows? It flew away and landed near the big tree by the store. I'm not sure exactly where, though. That's pretty much all the information we really need. Because... should be able to see. Ah, there it is. Shut up, kid. Yeah, we got the money you're missing. What? Where? Right there. Right here. That shady-looking crow must have stolen it during all the mayhem. That bird must love shiny things. Can't believe it was the crow, but this is the money, alright. Telio wouldn't have put it here after stealing it either. Sorry for doubting you, Telio. Guess I owe you all a favor for getting to the bottom of this as well. Well, I'm glad you believe me now. And we get the General's pen. You guys really helped me out, though, you know. Why did you believe me anyway? No one else would. And the grandfather helped me once a long time ago. The grandfather, he's been dead for decades. You don't have to believe me. There he goes, ice cold as always. Pay no attention to him, and you just stop acting so tough, okay? You're gonna get into some serious trouble someday. Blargity, 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 blarg. So what we want to do really quick, number one, I want to double check what the pen does. I forget. Okay, that's really good, actually. We'll work on it once something opens up. That ability is pretty beastly, because you're gonna get sideswiped a lot by formation. So in other words, there are enemies that can force an altering of your formation. The General's pen prevents that from actually happening. So it's another status effect, because in this game, strangely enough, I don't believe you can change formation in battle. So once you're in the front row, you're fixed to the front row. If you get knocked in battle to the back row, my understanding is there's no way to get back to the front row. And that can be bad, because anybody knocked out of the front row reduces the GC, the guard power of that row. So you start running into problems. Let's get us all smuggling ship passed by here. The crew hit something way at the tip of the bank. Tried checking it out, but I couldn't find anything myself. Maybe I'll have better luck. So we get a treasure hunt info. Or hint, whatever you want to call it. And we're going to go ahead and go grab it. And we should see it at the tip of the pier. And as you can see, it shows up on the map. And we get Splitter, yay! Alright. Let's go ahead and head back, because we're going to get some more info here. Just to double check houses here. I want to say... Oh, by the way, do you know about the nation to the south that is... They say there's still ancient jewelry to be found there. I have heard tales of jewelry charged with powerful spirit magic. I'd be a wonder to see, I'm sure. So, is found at the Great Ancient Ruins. That's important to know. And then I want to... There's another treasure hint here that we can pick up. But I believe this is not the place to find it. Buttering toast indeed. Let's go... Is it here? Yeah. And... That's not you. Where is it? There he is. Hey, so I've got some juicy info. Do you want to hear it? They say that two monster kings live in the Ice Canyon. The smaller one was clever and sly, and the bigger one was aggressive and violent. Fortunately for us, the bigger one's encased in a glacier, I hear. Reminds us that the bigger one hid a treasure under his own feet, and no one's tried to extract it yet. Wouldn't want to wake him up after all. You're heading for the Ice Canyon, aren't you? Maybe you can use that machine to look for it. Okay. And we get another tip. Yay! So, we've done pretty much all there is to do in town. I think if there's anything else we want to do, but I can't think of anything. So let's go ahead and make a save. Alright, let's move on. And we'll head to the Ice Canyon.
It's a whole new place.
Dun, 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 dun. You can totally feel that this was a game made for a stronger console. Alright, let's move. Okay, so we'll keep moving here. And I want to say... this way.
Don't overdo it!
And there we go. Okay, so here's what you need to know. Normal enemies, assholes. Elmans will steal from you physically, or actively rather. And with gusto they will steal from you too. And they're very, 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 very annoying. I cannot express how annoying they are. There's fire and water. And so, with that said, let me go back here for a second. What are we doing? Let's have them actually do some weed whacking. Now, what was I saying? Let's do fire, so fire's weak to water, I believe. But yeah, they'll end up stealing stuff from you, so you want to be somewhat aware of what of the fact that they're there. And as you can see, he's in the back row, so we gotta kind of fight our way to him. But usually when he steals, he doesn't leave the same turn he steals, I don't think. My memory serves me right. And the big issue is he can many times steal items of incredible value. Oh no, he did run away. What an asshole. But you might sit there and go, but he stole something like major, right? Again, don't worry about it. There is a whole thing that we can do over that. We'll get the item back, pretty much. We're just going to be without it for a while. You know what? We're putting this off pretty far hard here. But let's put the fire charm on. Since I can't put the pen on. That's fine, and... now we want to give her 3 slot. Well, we got our pick of the litter here. I guess... just for now. Mess with more of that later. Now, I thought somebody learned 2 things specific. No, I guess not. Okay. Let's keep moving. This is something you have to be careful. You can easily fall off the side, as you can quite clearly see. All the way against the wall here. Head across. Sweet. And I want to say, humans, this is the end of the road for you. It was the humans who stole our treasure, the Elman crown. Now you will pay for it. It's not us. We don't have anything to do with your crown. Hey, look at these look at those monsters. Isn't that the stuff they stole from us? Hey, you're right. That's convenient. Time to dish out some beatings to get our stuff back. I'd like to see you try it, my legions. The time of battle is nigh. Make good use of the loot. No holding back. And here we go.
Better say your prick.
So we gotta deal with this asshole. These assholes, rather. And they are Earth-based. Toast. He's toast. He's gonna be toast. Yeah! Suck it, bitch. Not so much him. Yeah. Enough games.
It's like taking candy from a baby.
You and some brass, how could the great almond tribe be bested by mere humans? You got what you deserve, I'd say. Curse, if only we had our wondrous crown, things would have been different. Get your filthy hides out of my sight. And there's our recovery of stolen goods. Yay. Now, with that done and said, let me think. There we go. Let's keep moving. So yeah, the negative is that if those bastards keep stealing stuff from you, you gotta go back and deal with it, I believe, that way. But it is what it is. Again, I'm not too worried about it. Yay. Head this way. And this way. And we're gonna run in some complexity here, but nothing major.
You know, it's tough being so popular.
So we've got these dudes, Dandamen, who have no weaknesses whatsoever. So I would just argue the best thing to possibly do is just gang up on them and use magic that, you know, an enemy like the weed is weak against. So like use Grounda, because if by any chance we can kill one of these dudes, or both of these dudes, the black magic will go to the back row. You can see it took all 3 melee characters to knock them out. And that's not good. Not too low there. And the battle is won.
Only the strong.
Seth learns 3 combo and Sarah learns weapon guard. Yay. I'll have her work on freeform, and the reason I want her to work on freeform is you don't want a back row person being moved to the front. Not that that's usually the issue, but usually different breakdown that's the problem, but regardless, that makes to me more sense. Gotta wait. Obviously, go right there and get some tornado leaves. Well, let me think. Come over here and grab this guy. Which gives us a seed. We'll head through here. Grab this. We'll deal with that when we get the opportunity, as we need to keep moving. Now we gotta go back again the way we came. I'm starting to see a pattern here. Oh, god damn it. That was an accident. Oh, come on. Be a little more careful this time, shall we? Let's do it.
Out of my way.
We're going after the one in the back because all of our melee will get a shot at knocking down the guard, so no need to gang up on the Panda Man once one of them's gone. And he's toast.
I wish I was stronger.
And Kime learns Magic Defense Boost 1. Yay! Let's put something new on him. We don't really have anything new, so outside the water charm. So I'll put that on him. Alright, let me carefully try to do this. Penguin! Pengy! Whoa, what's that? A monster? No, just a bird. Those are pretty rare because they only live in the cold. They can even swim in the most frigid waters. Birds can swim? I think I read about that in a book once. Those birds can't fly, but they're excellent swimmers. Well, they sure are strange to look at. Because why not? Whee! And we get a warm vest, actually, which is, I think, a better equip for Kime than the water charm, to be fair. Because it protects against the status effect freeze. Which, probably something you don't want to get hit by, right? Alright. Let me think. Now there's two little directions we can kind of go here. And I'm thinking, yeah. That's pretty good. Now we gotta come back this way. Leave. Need to go this way. Oh, we can skitties.
Let's take a bow.
Well, yeah, you can't change it in battle, but again, I want to say that the ability of the General's Pen protects you from having that sealed away or something along those lines. I don't remember it happening as much, but then a part of me is like, wait a minute, it didn't happen a lot to the point of annoying me. It's hard to remember things anymore. There's just so much out there. Ow. Tis.
What a waste of time.
Okay, so black magic resistance, Sethland's composite and black magic, Cerulean's 3 slot. Okay. Take it and get it done. First of all, we need 3 slot. Whoop. There we go. She needs to have 3 slot on as well. Because she's not gonna need that anymore. So giving her give her that. Now you might sit there and say, but you're not using Ming very often to learn stuff. Number one, she knows enough stuff, to be fair. And number two, there's going to be a moment where we got to do skill catch-up. And when it'll make sense what I mean when the time comes. Don't worry about it right now. But there will be an event that we need to consider how to deal with. A series of events for skill gaining that we need to consider, again, how to deal with it. So once we get to that junction, or that juncture, then I'll worry about it. But right now, it's not a big deal. Okay, and that's one way to be a little faster there. Dang it. So let's make a save here. It's not a healing save, so... Somewhere a little fat. Now for the upcoming battle, which is rather rough. Let me think. My suggestion for our battle layout will be as follows. Equip. That's not learned yet. I need to learn that and then pass it to Jensen, I think, for what's coming up. So we'll be doing that for sure. But the party layout is Max going to be substituted in for, or not? We're not giving it to Jensen. Rather, we're going to give it to Cook, and we'll bring Cook and have Cook and Sarah both in. I do want to check. Yeah, she has Zafira as well. Okay, so yeah. We're not going to need steel. What we're going to need is... I think it's called Freeform. I guess it's because... Oh, we haven't learned it yet. Dirt. But yeah, so the next upcoming event will be bringing Cook in for Jensen, because we're going to need all the healing we can get. For damage, however, we want anybody who can get Bio Killer. So we have Bio Killer level 2, so we're going to want to make sure we have that for whatever it is that's coming up. Not whatever's coming up. I know what's coming up, but for you guys at home, there is something that's going to be Beast. I think Beast Killer actually works too. But I could be wrong. But we'll you know what we'll do? For Mac, let's just do that, and for her, just because I actually don't think it will work, let's do that. Because of what's coming up. We can also use some... Probably should have waited to use that for Sarah. So yeah, we'll get Sarah to learn Master Freeform, and then we're going to get kind of move Cook into the party, put the General's pen on her, and that'll pretty much bypass the complexities of the next boss fight, which is good. The next boss fight's kind of rough. The negative, and the thing that we need to double check before I let you guys go as well, so you know my setup to some degree, is Steel needs to be available to multiple characters. There is a reason for it. But yeah, that would be a big one, is to make sure that just make sure that you're taking reduced damage, and that you're ensuring that characters are getting the option for stealing. So we want to make sure we at least have the front row, including Mac, able to steal. That's really what I care about the most coming up. And I think that's really it. I think that that's all that needs to be mentioned. And whatnot. So yeah. So anyway, I want to thank you guys for stopping by. I'm your host, the RPG Guy, and when we come back, we will be tackling another boss fight and all that good stuff. So thanks for stopping by, guys. We'll see you guys next time. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Check out my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/JektarStudios, for more live gaming action. Thanks again for stopping by. We'll see you guys next time.